Wake up and smell the coffee, Mr. LaRusso.
Extreme situations require extreme measures.
Yo guys, about the Cobra Kai Karate. Welcome back to a brand new video. And guys, we are here with episode 9 of our fan fiction Cobra Kai season 6, episode 9. Now this is following the first 3 episodes of episode 6, 7, and 8. This is basically following and trying to save the season, get it back on track. And now we're reaching up to the end of part 2. And yeah, hopefully I can get all of part 3 fan fiction out before actually part 2. But if it comes after part 2, let's just pretend we did not see that. But anyway, today we are here, and this is called Brumation. This episode is going to be a lot about the Saikai Taikai, and really less of the fighting, is more of behind the scenes and how characters are feeling in the fighting. And this is what this is going to put a lot of depth on. Once again, I do want to realize, I want to emphasize, I am not a professional at this. I'm not the best at pasting. Again, all the characters might be characters that are in here that should not be, or might be characters that do not have a lot of screen time, or it's not pasted right. I'm aware of all this. I definitely am aware that it's not the best of pasting. It's definitely really hard. This is more just a lot of my ideas of going into this season and parts just thrown into in ones. I kind of just blend it all together. So if it's not up to that perfection, I apologize, but this is more just a fan's perspective. Without further ado, let's get right into the episode. Let's go. So, Cobra Kai Season 6, Episode 9, Brumation, starts off by showing the Saikai Taikai, but it looks a lot older. And then we hear the name, Mr. Miyagi. This is a flashback. We hear the name of Mr. Miyagi coming out with the Miyagi-Do. It shows the back of him, and then all it says is Cobra Kai, and that ends. We're going to pick up on this flashback later in dialogue, but that's just how it starts off. Then so present day of the Saikai Taikai. And we're going to find out that they are now in Madrid, Spain. So they were in Barcelona. Now they're going to come here. I do want to go like at different locations because I feel like it will be in different locations for different fights. I don't think it'll all be in Barcelona. And I feel like this stage is going to be a lot bigger, a lot more people. It's not the championship. It's more like the conference championship, you could say. I mean, this is the dojos that are going to fight to get to the final spot. There are 8 dojos left. They'll be fighting for the final 4, which will result into the final championship. Obviously, there's a whole bunch of other dojos, but obviously the big 3 are the Iron Dragons with Silver, Cobra Kai with Kreese and Kim, and Miyagi-Do, Johnny, Daniel, Chosen, all them guys. Then we're going to see Daniel giving a speech to them all about how this is going to be a really hard fight and how Kenny and Anthony are now taking in the spot of Sam and Devin since they'll not be fighting in this, and how they looked they're pretty inexperienced about the whole thing. So they said, it's going to be hard, we got to fight, we got to give them our all that stuff. And yeah, and then we're going to see Sam in the background almost like tearing up. I think she's going to want to be a part of this super bad, but her fear took control over her. And then after that, we're going to see Miguel go up to Sam and try to talk to her. And he's going to say, hey, it's okay to be scared. I am too. Don't beat yourself up about this. Sam's going to shake her head and just say, like, not now. She just doesn't want to talk. And then Miguel's just going to look away, and he's just going to be really sad. And he's going to look right at Axel, because he knows that he's the one that did this. They kind of trapped her and beat her up, kind of manipulated her, and he's going to be very, very upset about this, looking straight at him. After all this, Daniel's going to go up to Sam and say, hey, everything will be okay. And then after that, I think Sam's literally just going to stand up and walk away. Sam's going to be in a really rough place, and Daniel doesn't really know what to do, but, there's a huge fight going on soon, and he has to be there for his students at the time. And Sam is just in a rough place. After that, we're going to see Kim talking to the students in Kreese, and they're going to find out that Sam dropped out. They're not going to know why. Tory's not going to know why, but they're going to find out, and Kim's going to be really happy about this. Like, oh, now we got less competition on the girls' division, so now it should be really easy for Tory. And I think both Kim and the students will all be happy about this, but Tory's going to look really concerned about that, on why she did that, and then she's going to look at Kreese, and Kreese going to look right back at her, and they're both going to be really confused about what happened. I also think we're going to get scenes of Daniel trying to talk to the community about what happened, but they're really just not going to take him seriously. Maybe he finds out that Silver's actually paying the community a bit to not do anything about this, and he's going to find out about this, and that's make Daniel really upset. Because, he's going to go there and try to get him kicked out of the Saikai Taikai because, they attacked one of their students, his daughter, and they're just not going to take him seriously. And he's going to spectate that Silver paid him off to not do anything. we'll see Tory walking around trying to find Sam, and she's gonna walk into a workout room, and she's gonna see Robbie in there, like punching a bag or whatnot. And then Tory's gonna say, "Hey, have you seen Sam?" And Robbie will be like, "Why would you care?" Now Robbie's gonna be in a really dark place right now. It's gonna explain a bit more later. But then Tory will say, "Because she's my friend." And then Robbie will say, "Oh, I thought they're supposed to be your enemy." And then Tory will say, "No," and then Robbie will just stop her right there, and he'll say, "Just stop, just stop." And then he's gonna tell her what they did to her, and she's just gonna be in shock. She can tell him how Silver manipulated her, and how they got her somewhere and they beat her up, and now the community's not taking it seriously, and Silver probably paid him off. And then Tory's gonna look so shocked about this, and I think Robbie will just say, "But hey, I guess it makes it less competition for you guys, more easy for you guys to win." And the Tory will say, "I don't care about the winning. I care for her and you." Robbie will say, "Yeah, well, I don't." He's gonna be dead cold about this. He says, "Not anymore. Winning is all I have now. It's all that there is for me. Tell your friends to stay out of it and out of my way, or else they will pay and they will lose. Because in the end, I will make sure that I win." And Tory's gonna walk away, kind of shocked by what he said. And then I think Robbie's going to begin to cry. This is a scene where I think it's going to show how Robbie's been, so emotionally damaged throughout his years, especially now with Tory, with now Sam, and all this stuff, and now that Silver's paying them off, and we're kind of cornered where now it's going to be even harder for them to win this whole thing, and everyone's unbalanced, everyone's worried about things, and he's supposed to be the captain, and winning's always been something that he's really wanted. We saw it early in the part, and I feel like now he's going to feel like the only way I can redeem myself and make me feel some sort of comfort, the only thing that I can strive for to give me some comfort and some closure is to win. And I feel like that's going to be his dead focus. And it's not going to go in his favor in this show, because now it feels like it's going to affect him as a personal character. Anyway, then we're going to see Johnny trying to talk to Anthony and Kenny about going out there. Both of them are going to be really nervous because you're competing against really high value fighters. And both in the senseis, all of a sudden they're going to look really kind of unconfident about this and what's going on. Then we're going to see Tory talk to Kreese and Kim and tell them what happened, and then tell them what Silver did, how the comedian's not taking him seriously. And then I feel like Kim's going to love it. She's going to be like smiling, like, "Oh, that was a genius idea." But then Tory's gonna get really upset about, like, "No, it's not." And then Kim will be like, they're kind of gonna argue about it a bit, and I feel like Kim's gonna try to go to Kreese to back her up, but Kreese is just not gonna say anything. And then Tory's gonna say, "I don't care what either of you think. I'm here for me, and I'll fight for me, not you or this dojo. And when it's done, I'm done here for good." Anyway, they're going to see Silver talking to his students, and he's just going to say, "Remember, pain," as he smiles towards them. And then we're going to find out more about his plan later. Or, I'll just say it now. I mean, basically what this is going to indicate what he's going to go for is that he's not actually trying to win this. He's just trying to break both of these dojos until they both, like, basically quit, or they're just so much emotional damage. He just wants to cause pain. So he's not actually trying to win. Kind of like in Karate Kid 3, where Mike Barnes just kind of took the points, but he still wanted to win. Now he doesn't care about winning. He just wants them to inflict pain on them emotionally, physically, mentally, and that's basically a strategy going in it. And he's probably going to pay those students a good deal of money to do it for. And we're going to see more of that inside the fights. And then the guy will come out, the guy who does like the whole talking about the fights and whatnot. And then he's going to be talking about the fight, and then it's all going to go black. Basically the lights turn down, and then it'll come back up, and then we're gonna hear "You're the Best Around" start playing, and yeah, we're finally gonna get it. So I was really considering of like when we're gonna play this song, and I knew it had to be in the Sekai Kai, but I think I had to put it here instead of episode 10, because episode 10 is still in Sekai Kai, but episode 10 is gonna be a lot more emotional than it's gonna be like, "Oh yeah, let's go out there and kick their butt," So I feel like this is the purpose time to play it. So I'm not going to put like each scene by scene, but just imagine the most awesome 80s montage of all time happening with "You're the Best Around." So we're going to see a lot of fights. We're going to see a lot of group fights and a lot of cool stuff happening. And dojos getting eliminated. And it's going to keep on going down and down and down. And yeah, it's going to be a great thing. We might even see a little crane kick in there. Who knows? It's You're the Best Around. It's going to be a great one. I don't know if they'll play a remastered version or it'll be the exact same original. We'll have to see what they do there. But we're finally going to get You're the Best Around. We're probably going to hear it again in there. But for now, we're getting in the tournament. You're the Best Around. It's going to be awesome. Just don't have Carrie Underwood sing it, please. But yeah, in this, we're going to see Cobra Kai dominating. We're going to see Iron Dragons dominating. We're going to see Miyagi-Do struggle a lot. Like, they're going to struggle in fights. They're going to lose a lot of points. They're going to be going down the leaderboard. They're going to be struggling because they're hurt. They don't have all their students. They have, two inexperienced people there. And even just mentally, they're just not in the right space with Miguel and Robbie and basically everyone there, even the senseis. Then we're going to see a group fight of Hawk and Dimitri fighting side by side. And I feel like they're going to win this fight. And we actually saw a little bit of this in the bloopers. I think this is when we're going to see it here. And I feel like this fight right here will kind of reaffirm their friendship going forward, as they'll kind of dab each other up. They'll beat them up. It'll be a cool little scene to make sure to know that their friendship is kind of getting back on track. Now the montage will kind of end with a new fight happening, and this will be there'll be double fights. I hope we see. Well, we're gonna see. Obviously, I'm writing this. What do you mean hope we see? I'm writing this. I'm in control of this, or at least the fan fiction. Of course, I'm not actually writing the show. Okay, well, what am I even saying? Okay, basically, we're gonna see some scenes of Robbie and Miguel fight side by side, and they're just gonna be going off. I can't wait to see that. But there are also going to be some certain fights where it's going to be one-on-one, and then the montage is going to end with a fight starting. And it's going to be Miguel versus Axel. Now, Miguel's going to be really ready for this. He's been waiting for this fight, and he just, wants to beat him up because obviously the whole Sam stuff. And it'll be a pretty good fight at first. It's going to be really good. But then I feel like Axel's going to start getting into Miguel's head with saying stuff about Sam and, all this stuff. And I feel like Miguel's just going to lash out, and Miguel's going to take a kind of a dirty hit, just punch him in the face, and he's going to get his point taken away. And then Axel's just going to smile as it doesn't affect him really physically or mentally. And those will kind of keep going on until Axel just kind of breaks him mentally, and then he just beats him down. And then Axel's going to win the fight as Miguel just walks away. And then Daniel tries to talk to him, and Robbie and Johnny all try to talk to him, but he just keeps on walking away to the locker room. Really frustrated about this. And Silver will be smiling at this like the sick motherfucker he is. But as that is happening, or right after it's over, we're going to see another one-on-one fight, and it's going to be Tory versus Zara of the Iron Dragons. Two other girl fighters. Obviously, Zara is the girl who beat up Sam. And yeah. Now, if Tory wins this, Cobra Kai will clinch a spot into the final championship. So it's a really important fight because they just need to... Basically, that's going to be they need to win a boy and a girl fight to be number one. But if they win this girl fight, they'll clinch to number one. They wouldn't have to win the next boy one. So that's basically how it's going to be. So this is basically a really important fight for the Cobra Kai ranking of if they would get kicked out or not. And yeah, it's going to be a really good fight. And this is going to be just like the Miguel and Robbie fight. Zara's going to start getting into her head. But this time it's going to be even worse. I feel like they're going to start bringing up her mom and her death and about stuff of like just terrible things. And Silver's gonna do like a lot of finding out about this, and he's start emotionally attacking these students, and it's gonna affect her so bad where she's just going to not do a Miguel there where she starts freaking out, gets upset. She's actually just gonna freeze up, and it's all gonna go silent. She's gonna be looking at Robbie. Robbie's like looking at her like, what is she doing? And she's gonna get kicked right in the face, fall straight down, and then she'll be out conscious. And I feel like Robbie's gonna run up, like crying, trying to wake her up. Doctors come out, take her away. She got knocked out unconscious, obviously lost the fight. And yeah, it's going to be a pretty dramatic scene there, especially for Robbie, because the last words Robbie kind of said to her was not who he was. And obviously he doesn't know the circumstances. Now she's going to be okay, guys. Don't worry. She's not going to die. But this is just going to be a really emotional scene. And it's going to affect Kreese a lot. And I feel like Kim's going to be disappointed, but she's also going to be like almost like some sort of joy out of it, where she's like, she did not like Tory so much, where it's going to bring some joy out of her. And also, she might just look at it as like, oh, this is probably for the best of the dojo. And Kreese is just going to be broken really bad. But then it's the final fight of the day. Now, this is the fight that's going to, if Miyagi-Do loses this fight, then they are not making the final four. But if Cobra Kai wins this, they will have like a higher spot in the seed. They won't be eliminated from the final four, but they'll fight like a less advantaged dojo in the final four, kind of like playoffs. So basically, Cobra Kai does not need to win this to make the Final Four, but Miyagi-Do does. And it's going to be another one-on-one fight, and it's going to be Robbie versus Guan, the both boy captains. And Robbie is just going to be in shock. He's twitched. He's like twitching up, and he's just going out there as like super, super dark. And it'll be a close fight. Guan will be doing really good, but I feel like Robbie will get the advantage of him and get a good punch on him. And then I feel like this fight can actually go to overtime, where overtime in the rules of the Seika Taikai, it is no rules. It is first person to get knocked out or tapped out. That's how it is in overtime. Or sudden death, I guess. And this is going to be really intense, and Robbie's gonna just punch him really bad, and he's gonna be knocked out, but he's just gonna keep on punching him. Kind of like what Hawk did. Everyone's gonna be in shock. He just won't stop. He's going crazy. Eventually the ref will pull him off Guan. Guan's unconscious, and I feel like Robbie's gonna have blood all over his hands, his face. Hawk, Robbie, and Hawk, Daniel, John will all be looking at him in shock, and then I feel like even Sam will be looking in the background watching, and he's just going to be kind of lost his mind. But as he's punching him, Daniel will look over, and there'll be another fight going on with Kenny and Anthony, as they're fighting in more of the little smaller league kind of stuff with other fighters, and they're both going to get injured bad in this like double fight. So as Daniel's watching Robbie like almost kill this guy, he's seeing Anthony, he's seeing Kenny, they both get injured for bad, and people come over there to stop him. Everything's going to go silent. It feels like the whole dojo is just shook, where you win and lose at the same time, but you ultimately lose, but you also ultimately win. It's going to be such mixed emotions for everyone and the senseis, and it's going to be hard. As Robbie walks back, Johnny's like, what the hell was that? And Robbie's going to say, I won. And he's just going to walk away. Both Johnny and Daniel chose will look at each other knowing this is bad. But as they do that, Daniel's going to run over to, talk to Anthony and Kenny. And they both got hurt pretty bad. And they're going to be out for the Seika Taikai. As all this is happening, it's going to show the back of Silver just looking and observing the situation of Robbie full of blood and Johnny kind of freaking out, of Cobra Kai, of them being injured, with Tory not unconscious, with now Guan unconscious. He's gonna look at Miyagi-Do with both of the students injured, and they're gonna find out that the Iron Dragons are disqualified. But he's gonna just have a big smile on his face, as now both of those senseis are conflicted with each other. He's growing conflict between Kreese and Kim. He's having growing conflict between Johnny and Daniel. And he's also growing conflict within the dojo. Players are injured. They're not ready to win. They're not healthy enough to win. And that's basically what all Silver's plan all along. But we will find out that Cobra Kai and Miyagi-Do are both in the Final Four for the championship, which will be in 1 week. It'll only be a couple hours earlier, as Tory's woken up. She has like an ice bag on her head. She's just hurting really bad. And Kreese is going to be there, and he's going to try to talk to her about how it's, the next fight will be in a week and we gotta win. But Tory's gonna be completely not interested, and she's just gonna break down and get really upset at him about how he was supposed to be there for her and lead her in the right ways. This led her to destruction, and how he manipulated her through her pain to get her to a place that she wanted to be, and it's just not who she is. She lost her friends, and Kreese is gonna take this really badly because he knows that was not his intention, but he knows it's also true. And I feel like Tory's just going to end it by saying, I'm done. I'm quitting. I'm done with this. And if you really care for me, you do the same. She'll walk away, and Kreese is just going to be in so much conflict in his heart, because his whole life he wanted Cobra Kai to win. And now he's here in the championship, but it's at what cost? We're going to see Daniel and Johnny and Chosen all reflecting, as I think Amanda will even get there, as they're discussing all this. And I feel like Johnny and Amanda, or maybe just Amanda will pose the idea of like, we might have to stop this. Like, this is getting out of control. Like, we have students losing their minds. We have people getting hurt off it. And I feel like Daniel's not gonna like this idea at all. He's like, no, we came so far, and we are here, and we're here to have a chance to stop Cobra Kai once for good. And he's going to be kind of trying to give like a motivational speak, but no one in the room's going to feel it. They're all going to look at each other and know like, no, this is not it. And he'll just keep on rattling on, and feel like he'll try to look to Chosen for like support, because he knows how important the legacy of what Miyagi was to Chosen. I feel like Chosen will be like, Daniel, this is not what Miyagi would want. Daniel's not going to take that lightly. He's like, you don't know what Miyagi wanted. None of us know what Miyagi wanted. Miyagi wanted to win, and he did. as he pulls out the headband with blood on it, and he's like, look, I looked it up in history here. He fought here and he won. If Miyagi's here right now, he would tell the exact same for us to fight, to end this. Chosen will stop him and say, like, Daniel, son, that's not what happened. As he kind of knows the story, and Daniel will just kind of look at him like, what? Like, what do you mean? Then we'll see Miguel walking around he has a bruise on his face, and he is not taking this really lightly at all. And he walks up to Sam, and they talk, and Sam's kind of comforting him, and I feel like he'll just break down where he's talking about, like, I was supposed to be there for you. I was supposed to be the guy to protect you. I let this guy get in my head. He'll break down crying about, it doesn't feel like he matters anymore to anyone. He's not been a good boyfriend. He's just been going through a rough time in general. And I feel like Sam will kind of comfort him, and it'll be like, it's okay. I was afraid too. But now, and then I think Sam will tell him that, like, I'm going to get in here and I'm going to fight, and I'm going to fight for you. We're going to move past our fear, past our past, and we're going to go out there. We're going to win together. And they're going to look, and Robbie's going to be like, together, and she'll be like, together. They'll hug, and then we'll see Robbie in the background, where he's just going to be really sad about this. This will kind of reflect the whole Tory stuff of them talking about how they want to be together, and he's just going to walk away. And I feel like he's going to drop his headband and just walk away. After that, we're going to have Chosen talking to Daniel on what happened in the Saikai Taikai. He's going to tell him about the story on what happened after he got back from the war, and he got back and his wife and son died, that he was living off the military money. Eventually it ran out, and then he lived at a boxing gym for a while, and eventually he got broke. He got homeless at one point, and he stole a necklace to feed himself, and that would explain the whole thing. He tried to sell fish, he tried to do everything, but he just couldn't, and he was growing so much depression and pain, and eventually he found out about the Saikai Taikai, and he realized the only thing that's good in this world for him was karate. So he went there, and he joined, and he fought under Miyagi-Do, with the same gi that his mom gave him, the one that Daniel was wearing. He was there, and he fought, and he made the conference championship. And he got into a fight that went into sudden death. And he fought him, and he beat him really, really bad, and he left him paralyzed. And this broke Miyagi, and he left all the money, left everything, and he went and joined a small motel as a thing, because that's when he realized that it's not about the money, it's not about winning, it's not about being the best, it's about fighting for what's right. And that's why he never joined a tournament again. And basically, Daniel's gonna say, like, why do you never tell me this? And then Chosen will say, I didn't think you would ever have to hear it. And he didn't want him to look at him that way. And then he'll just say, so this is not what Miyagi would want. If Miyagi was here, he'd want you to take care of your family and your kids, not a trophy. And I feel like Daniel's just going to sing about this for a while, and eventually Daniel will say, I will take care of them. I will. But we are not quitting. Almost all of them will look disappointed. But then Daniel will go on a rattle saying, like, we can't just let Silver take control of them. Kreese. We can't let Kreese and Cobra Kai take control of the world, sell this to kids. When Miyagi was here, he went to them, beat them up himself. And maybe it's not even about Miyagi, it's about us. We came this far, we need to fight. Johnny will say, just look at us, Daniel, look at where we're at. Your own daughter's in fear of fighting in here. Robbie is turning into a crazy person. It's all Silver, he's getting into our heads. Daniel says, so we're not just going to let him do it. We're going to fight back against what he's trying to do. He did that. He wanted us to get hurt. He wanted us to be at this place right now. And they're going to get in a big argument where eventually Johnny's going to say, like, no, we're not doing this. I'm not going to let you be here with my kid, have him fight like this, have him fight with anger and aggression. They're like, this is what you said we were against, and you're doing it right now. Then Daniel just going to go on full lunatic mode where he just like me, like, it doesn't matter how we fight. We need to beat this. We got to do what's right now. It doesn't matter how we get there. Amanda will try to stop him. He'll just keep on going. Then eventually Johnny will say, you're just looking for revenge. And then Daniel's like, yes, I am. I am looking for revenge. This guy ruined my life, almost ruined my marriage. Everything. My whole life had been revolved around this guy over karate. At this point, it has nothing to do with karate. It has nothing to do with Miyagi. It has something to do with me and him, and it's going to end here, and I'll do it with you or without you. Johnny will say, then you're doing it without me, as he walks away. he'll look at Chosen, and Chosen will just walk away also. And I feel like Amanda is going to start slowly walking away, and then he'll be like, Amanda, please don't. She'll be like, sorry, Daniel, we cannot do this. I'm taking Anthony back to America. You do what you got to do. And Daniel starts screaming like, oh yeah, whatever, you guys can quit all you want. I'm not stopping. I'll be here and I'll win. But as they all leave, and after he's done screaming, he's just going to break down and start crying. And it's going to be really rough for him because if you really look at Daniel as a character, his whole life has been almost being taunted by these people. And it's like almost at a breaking point where he's so close to ending it, where he thought he ended it. He had clarity, and now it's been broken once again. And it feels like he's trapped, and he just cannot accept it. And he cannot realize on how bad it's affecting them because he's just so dead focused on winning. So yeah. But after that whole scene, we're going to see Kreese walking into the dojo that, Cobra Kai's training at. He's going to see Kim there. Or no, not Kim. Sorry. He's going to see someone else. Silver is going to be there. He'll be like, what are you doing here? And then we're going to see Kim walk out. And then Kreese is going to be like, what's going on? Kim will say, you're out. You're no longer a sensei here. You and Tory are both out. And now Silver is our new sensei. Kreese will be like, you cannot do that. You don't own this. Silver will be like, oh, yes, I do. I still own 50% share. I just used you and played you like a puppet. I knew you would get here, and I know you would be soft for Tory. That's why it broke her, and it broke you, and it showed what a little soft, sensitive man you are. I know about that little death of her mother, what that did to her, and what it did to you. It's over, John. It always has been over. Kreese will look at Kim and be like, Kim, you can't do this after all we've been through. She'll say, I cared for you because of our legacy, the legacy of our students. You put that at jeopardy. I cannot do that. I need the best man for the job. And Silver is. And you know it's true. Silver will say, I guess it's time for you to go back in brumation, John. Kreese will be really upset. He's going to throw a punch right at Silver. And it's going to get into a big fight. They're going to have a crazy fight, awesome fight. We've all been waiting for this fight. It's going to be great. The eventual end of Silver getting a kick on him and punching him really bad. And he's going to be out cold as Kim kind of looks in horror. And he looks right at Kim, dead in the eye, and just smiles. And there's the episode. Brumation, Season 6, Episode 9. So there it is, guys. Let me know what you thought of this episode. Yeah, pretty crazy. I know I'm going for quite a lot here. Episode 10 is going to be the championship round, where you already know it's going to end with Cobra Kai Miyagi-Do. And we're going to see, and Daniel's the only sensei there now, so we're going to see how that goes and how that'll affect them and who will win and what will happen. And like I said, this tournament is only setting up the end. The part 3 is going to be the aftermath of the Seikai Taikai and stuff growing against that. So I'm still not fully sure what I'm going to do for episode 10. I don't have it written. So if you have any ideas, let me know in the comments down below. Because there's been a lot we're going for. But yeah, Cobra Kai has... Oh, I forgot to mention. Cobra Kai, Zara, and Axel will both be joining Cobra Kai now. So now they got Axel, they got Zara, they got the other guys. Guan will come back eventually. No Tory, though. She is out because, she kind of quit. But anyway, yeah, there's the episode. Let me know if you found the comments down below. This video is already almost 30 minutes long, so I should probably end it. But anyway, thanks for watching this, guys. We'll see you guys next time. Always remember, extreme situations are extreme measures. Peace.